My name is Trevor New. I'm going to be talking about an extension for Reaper that allows you different functionality like clip launching and tempo changes similar to what you get in Ableton called Playtime 2. So this is Playtime 2 right here in this window. It's a window that pops up inside of Reaper. You do it by Command Shift P and it will pop right up, and it's pretty great. I'm gonna hit stop here. This is like the global stop button, and if I hit play, I have beats coming through, right? Uh, and I'll go ahead and click stop. I can also do scene launching. So if I want to launch these two scenes right here, I'll hit play. And there's our global stop. And I can actually say what I want each column to do. So if you notice, this sample didn't trigger. It has to do with these settings at the top here. So now,
Check.
yeah, which actually sounds kind of cool. So it is, there's like a little button in the middle there. There's a little button in the middle. If I have that turned on,
Check.
it will play this track. If I turn it off, so now it's turned off. I have a sample that I want to trigger just by playing it.
Check.
And now it'll only trigger. Now it only triggers things in this row. Again, you want to make sure that this is toggled on, and that comes, you know, default with everything toggled on. I use this for this row. I use for live sampling and then playing things back, so I can actually sample from the live playback that I have, and then also my instrument and anything else that's going through the system, depending on how I route it. A few notable features here is if you click on the scene button on the left, on the right side, we have row settings that pop up. And a really great thing, kind of a must, is you have this change tempo piece. So if I want this row to start at 150, I have it marked there. Let's say I want it to start at 100. I can what is that, left or right click on it and then type in 100, or I can actually click and drag up and down and choose the tempo. So I'll leave it at 108. If I go to the next row, it will stay that way. If I uncheck this, everything in this row will play based on the properties that are inside of the different clips. In some ways, very similar to Ableton. In other ways, completely different. You can do asynchronous looping. You can loop clips at the length that they are. So essentially just loop the length of the clip over and over again if you want to. Here, if you see sync to project tempo, if I uncheck that, it will actually play at the length that it is. So that's like an example is if I go to this sample and let's say I check off looped at the top. So in order to do that, you have to check looped, and then you have to make sure that this is unchecked. Now, I'm actually going to click at the top of the column and go to the trigger mode. Right now, it's on momentary. If I change this to toggle, or inherit in this case, but toggle, it should just play this over and over again.
Check. 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 Check.
Let's make a quick note of this. So if you're thinking about the hierarchy here, you have your what are called your matrix settings. So those have some different settings in there. Then that goes to your column settings, and that's where we had the triggering options. Right? And then it goes to the clip. And that does not have the triggering options, but it talks about how it's going to be played back. So I think it's column does the triggering options, how it handles playing in some ways, but when the clip is created. It looks like triggering is only in the column. In the clip, we have the it's specific audio specific to that clip. So yeah, so it essentially it goes kind of in a tiered hierarchy where if you don't select a certain like if you don't select a certain option down here in the clip, it will take whatever's in the column. If you don't select that option in the column, it will take it from the matrix settings. So when it says inherit inside the clip, it's inheriting the settings from the previous option within this hierarchy. So it goes up the chain if you haven't selected something or if it's, you know, automatically set as inherit. That's something to keep in mind. So let's jump back over to Reaper. So that's what's going on here. So if you think about that, if we look at that as we're looking at Playtime 2, you put your settings in the matrix settings. So it looks like you can even select toggle momentary or retrigger for the clips. I have toggle set as the default in the matrix settings. Then when I go to my sampling settings, because I want this to be different, I changed it right here earlier. So let's say I want to actually just play these like by tapping my finger on them like I was doing before. So I want that on as momentary. And then if I go to the actual clip now and click on it, you see how the settings change on the side. I'm going to turn off looped. And
check.
now
Check,
when I
check,
click on it,
check,
it plays a certain way, right? And it does that separately from these other columns because I also have these pieces clicked on or off. So this is, and the nice thing is all this information becomes available if you look up here. These are the different windows that you can kind of click on and off and make them viewable or not. So I actually had my help panel turned off. Should probably turn that on, it looks like. So this is the follow scenes button is what it looks like. Column follow scenes, you can click the button to follow or unfollow. So this is following the scene launching from left to right when you launch a row. So I have this clicked off. Overrides, this lights up if the column overrides at least one matrix setting. So this is definitely the case. I have, yeah, if the column itself, so the entire thing overrides the whole matrix setting, and then lights up the column is in exclusive mode means that only one slot at a time can be played. So here's something that is really cool. You can play more than one clip in a column at the same time. If this is off. So now, if I click both of these, they'll both play. If I were to go to both of these clips, which are more harmonically based, all right, and I'll turn that off now. Now they'll both play. And why would that be useful? So that you could essentially use this as a live looper. You can create layers, kind of stack one on top of the other. You can actually loop with inside different clips. But these are just some of the options. If you're familiar with Reaper and you're familiar with Ableton or any other sort of clip launching or sampling or something like that, I think you'll find that this is quite an incredible offering. And I've kind of only scratched the surface of what you can do here. Like for example, if I go to this clip, I'm gonna start a little bit further in. This is just I was just improvising, playing some stuff earlier. So what one of the things that's really great is Reaper's audio engine allows for a lot of flexibility in terms of warping samples in real time is what I find. And because it's so efficient, it doesn't cause issues with other things you're doing on the computer. So like I do visuals on the same computer that I do audio on. So now if I play this back, I can slow it down in really extreme ways and speed it up and kind of play off of that. I'm going to use my effects and things as well here. And yeah, let's hear what it sounds like. So kind of some interesting transitions. I'm just messing with the tempo. I have a control system that I'm using that allows me to do this pretty easily in some ways, but uh, it's a control surface that's based off of the Launchpad. So uh, the control surfaces that you're familiar with are available to map inside this as well. So you can, like this box that I have here is the Launchpad box. So if I want to move this around, I can go to my Launchpad and it goes up and down. I can launch this clip. Let's say I want to launch this scene even, and I'll launch the next scene. And then there's the next one. So this is all all your Launchpad features are built right in. There's also the APC. You can look at supported controllers. If I create a new controller, I can actually take a look at all of these. So these are the ones that are currently available. If you check out their website, this is the website. In order to get a copy of it, you just go to download. There's a installer called Reboot. Will install all the things. It'll even update your Reaper application as well. Things that are super useful. This is the reference that is made to pair with it. And then these are the community forums. For my purposes, GitHub is really useful. Benjamin Klum is the developer who's been working on this and creating this. Thank you. It's incredible. Yeah, he has like a number of tutorials. This is an amazing resource for learning more about Playtime too. Well, I will come out with a more detailed video about how to use Playtime too. But for now, yeah, thanks for checking this out. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. And otherwise, have fun playing with this. It is actively being developed further. It works amazing right now. For my purposes, I feel like I'm pretty much set. Yeah, go ahead and download it, try it out, see what you think. And for now, I will see you next time. Thanks.